Welcome to MMA Fancast. My name is Luke Payson. Welcome back to everyone who is already a subscriber to the YouTube channel. If you're not already a subscriber to the MMA Fancast YouTube channel, please subscribe so you can see more great interviews, just like the one coming at you right now. The one, the only, Cheyenne Batqueen Hall. Cheyenne, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. It's been a while. It's nice to be back.
It's been a while. Many people know that you also go by the name Cash's mom, and we've had Cash on the show many times. And one of the many things I like about following you on social media is that you are not only always posting handsome photos of Cash, and there's no bad photos of Cash, but you are also big into the rescue. You foster. Sometimes you'll even advertise a puppy and kind of explain pros and cons or what would be a good fit, things like that. Before we get to the cool factor of you co-headlining, co-main event for 247 Fighting Championships MMA at the Venue 5, March 14th, let's talk a little bit about your passion for a dog adoption. I would imagine probably cats too, but at least from what I've seen, it's mainly dogs. And what have you kind of benefited from the foster process? Because obviously you already have Cash, but what do you get out of kind of that whole process of hanging out with the dogs and helping them get adopted?
Yes, I love talking dogs. My strength coach actually said I should change my nickname to the Dog Warrior
The dog
for
warrior.
Dog
Ooh,
Warrior.
that's a
So,
good one.
it's we're thinking about it. We're thinking about it.
Very good.
But
Okay. Okay.
yeah, so I volunteer down at Animal Protectors of New Kensington. It is a shelter, pretty close to here, but there are shelters everywhere and foster programs available everywhere as well. I got involved in it because one of my really good friends, who's somebody I hang out with at the dog park, she got me into volunteering down there. And after I saw my first success story of like a dog who was just sad in the kennel and then he got adopted, and I got my first little update picture of it in its new home, I was hooked. I was like, oh, I got to keep doing this because this is very rewarding. So, you see a lot of dogs that are in the kennel who struggle because they either are used to being out on the streets and kind of being free, or they have social anxiety or separation anxiety or stuff like that. So foster programs are a huge benefit to dogs like that. So if you've ever thought about doing a foster program, it's one of the most rewarding things I can say you could do. And even if you don't have time to do a foster program, most animal shelters will have a program where you could take dogs out for walks and get them out in the community and just kind of socialize them and see how they do in social settings. And that's what I primarily do, especially when I'm in camp. But every now and then I do foster too because it's really rewarding. But it's also hard on the heart sometimes because you get attached.
Oh, sure. Oh,
Yeah.
sure. And then you root for them to get adopted,
Oh
which is
yeah.
wonderful. So, well, thank you. That was unexpected. We hadn't planned on that, but I just started rolling with the
Yeah.
fact how much you
Adopt,
love
don't
dogs
shop.
and dog rescue. Absolutely. So, talk about being in camp. You've got this big co-main event for 247. 247 Fighting Championships just put up a beautiful graphic, 10 minutes ago? We were just talking
Yeah.
about it just before we started recording, advertising you as the co-main event, Brittany Bickert as the co-main event, two women's pro MMA, but then also the entire undercard, which is the grappling portion before the MMA, is all women as well. A lot of them, of course, being Pittsburgh, and you're very connected to the Pittsburgh scene, not just at the Mat Factory, but the cross training you do through pretty much everybody that's a woman in MMA in Pittsburgh and Jitsu. So what is it like for you to be a co-main event and also represent the growing push and really the success of women in MMA and martial arts and jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, so it's been incredible just to watch women's MMA grow. Since I've lived in Pittsburgh since 2021. So even just over this time, like you'll go into sparring now, and it used to just be it would be me and Britt, maybe me and Britt and Carly sometimes, and now you go in there and there's like 6 to 8 girls some days, and it's really grown a lot. And I think it just will continue to grow, especially with the new girls wrestling programs and stuff that are going, that are sanctioned in the high schools and colleges and stuff. I think it'll just continue to grow, which I love. I think that the talent level will also continue to increase as girls get involved younger and younger in the sport. So it's just been really special to be a part of that. And Carly and I, and then a couple other girls that I train with, Gina and Lindsay, we were actually able to help coach the inaugural team of the Kiski area wrestling high school here. I don't know if I told you that before or not, but yeah, it was a couple years ago. But yeah, we were able to help with that inaugural program, and that was really special. So just being involved in all that stuff and seeing like younger girls, kind of looking up to people in combat sports, like not even just myself, but like Maya and all those girls in jujitsu that are going to be on the grappling card as well. And Erica and all those girls, they're really making a difference in these young girls' lives. And I think that's super special.
It is very special. And you mentioned Carly Joe Thomas, who obviously you guys coached inaugural, but she's the inaugural head coach of the women's wrestling team at Waynesburg University, which is my alma mater. Plus, I'm currently coaching track, so I always have a heart for Waynesburg. And a few months ago, I got to go to campus, which of course, I'm very familiar with campus, but got to sit with. I think some people know him, the general. I'm not quite sure who he is, but the
Oh, I think I
general
know that guy.
Patton.
I've seen that
I don't
guy a
know. It's
time
a
or two.
great nick. Yeah, it's a great nickname. But
That
no,
guy punched me right in
I
the
love.
face yesterday.
Yes. Oh, what? He punched you in the face
Oh,
yesterday?
it's
Did
okay.
you?
I signed a waiver.
Oh, there you go. Did you punch him back?
Well,
Okay, yeah. So it was really great. I
yeah.
got to watch Coach Carly uh, coach the women's wrestling team, which was great. But sitting with Justin, the general Pat, it was a good time. Hats off to
Nice.
the women Yellow Jackets, of course, at Waynesburg. But it was really fun to see Justin in that role of like support and being there to like cheer her on. It
Supportive
was
coach boyfriend. Yeah.
Coach
Coach
Boyfriend. Indeed, it
boyfriend.
was very, very fun. Which, speaking of Coach Boyfriend, you now have a Coach Fiance,
I got one
future
of those. Yeah.
husband. What's that like? Obviously you've been training at the Mat Factory since you moved up from Morgantown for several years ago now, since 2021. What's it like being a part of the Mat Factory? Coach Isaac Greeley, of course, your future husband, Chris the Handsome, I think should be his nickname, the Handsome Chris Dempsey. What are your thoughts on kind of the coaching and then getting back to trying to keep it on topic, which we both do a terrible job with that. But
I
how's the
know.
training camp been going as you head in to the co-main event versus Gloria DaCosta? Because if I don't say it now, I might never get to her. So just because of how excited
Okay.
we are, talk about dogs and cash, and you've got a wedding coming up and just so much going on. But talk
Lot
about
of stuff.
training camp and everything related to the Mat Factory.
Training camp has been great. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like I'm still very explosive during the weight cut, and I like my nutrition's been real good. This time I've really had a pretty good camp. And yeah, as far as just like the coaching, as far as the coaching goes with Chris, living with your coaches has its pros and cons, because sometimes he makes me do cardio and I don't want to talk to him when I get home. And
Oh,
then, but it's also very nice to have a live-in drilling partner. So if I'm thinking of something or if I'm watching a video and I want to try something, he's just right over there on the couch on the other side. So
yeah.
I can be like, hey,
Willing
stand
or
up, let's do some
unwilling,
more
he's going
work.
to do it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So and most of the time he's gonna do it and not even complain. So
Yeah.
that's nice. But yeah, no, it's been great. And then Isaac, it's always a special time when you're in camp at the same time that the wrestlers are going to states. Because Isaac
Oh,
is always pushing everybody to the limits. So that's been really fun this time. Yes, for those March camps, it's always a little bit extra intense. But
yes.
we've really enjoyed that. In the last like few months, I've added like a strength and conditioning program to my training, which has been really great. I think strength and conditioning is something that I have not always prioritized as much as I should have, but I do notice a difference in like injury levels whenever I'm being consistent with that. I feel like I don't get hurt as much, and I feel like my body just responds better to the stress that we put it under during camp. So, but yeah, I have had a good camp, and I got no complaints, and I'm really excited to just get back in there and do the thing. It's been too long.
It has been. And I bring this up
No.
every time I interview you because I had the honor of calling one of your early amateur fights. I don't think it was your debut, but it was the first event for 247 Fighting Championship. You fought on the first event for
Mhm.
247, and I got to call your fight. And I've seen you since amateur all the way up now. You're an established pro. You're 4-1. So you're an established pro, 4-1. This will be your sixth pro fight. I'm sure even more than that as far as training camps, because not every fight works out. But like your sixth pro fight, what are your thoughts on kind of the fact that you are, even though it might not seem like it, but that you're established as a pro. You made your debut now, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, because there's been some time, maybe even longer, since your pro debut. So, yeah, well, you would know the date. How long has it been?
I think it's been almost 5 years. That's crazy. Oh,
Oh,
that's
my
crazy.
goodness.
I think it was 2020. I think it was June 2021. I'd have to go back and check, but I'm
All
pretty
right,
sure.
all right.
Or maybe
5 years makes.
2022. Maybe 2022.
I'm
I don't know. It's been
pretty.
a minute.
I'm
But
pretty sure
yeah.
I was there. I remember watching a couple of your pro fights, even some that have happened outside of 247. Always
Mhm.
like supporting you, and it's been fun. But what has just the pro career, because I knew your amateur career as well, what has the pro career been teaching you? What has the ups and downs been like? And kind of what is your mindset as far as your professionalism and as far as where you are in your career at 4-1, which is a great record coming into this fight?
Yeah, so the as far as the difference between pros and amies, I mean, the pro career is just um it's a little bit different just because you got to learn your pacing a little bit more. It's not like you're going in there and you're fighting for 2 minute rounds or whatever. So you got to learn how to kind of pace yourself. And also, I really like the time that you get to fill your opponent out. So you get more time to fill your opponent out and more time to work your stuff, and gives you more time to like work jujitsu if if that's what your plan is. Because in amateurs, it's like you got 3 minutes. You got to close distance. You got to get a takedown. You got to get to a position that's advantageous, and then you got to try to do a submission, which is it's not 3 minutes isn't a whole lot of time for that. And 2 minutes is it's almost impossible to do that unless your opponent's just has no defense. So I feel like it opens up a lot of different avenues for like especially jujitsu for as a pro. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've really learned a lot since obviously since that initial debut. But I do think too, with my little layoff that I've had, I've gotten to work a lot of new things that I wanted to add to my game, because when you're in camp, you're just kind of training for just one opponent, and you're kind of focused in on like, what do I have to do to win this fight for this person? And then you're just working on your cardio, and it's a weight cut, and there's all that stuff. So you're not necessarily adding new tools and tricks to your bag. So I think I've had a pretty good amount of time to do that, and I'm just excited to get in there and showcase it. So I think it'll be good.
Yes, that is. I love your excitement, and you're not one for necessarily giving like strict predictions of what's going to happen. You're just
Yeah.
going to showcase your skills. The You fought. I remember several years ago you fought for amateur titles, I believe, up in Erie. I was just interviewing the videos out. Your teammate George Shaibi. We had a great
Nice.
chat. And so
Big fan of George.
what do you call him? Indiana George.
Oh, oh, so no, I said I'm a big fan of George.
Big fan. I was like, wait, is this a nickname?
Yes,
I
big
don't
fan.
know. Okay, big fan. Yes, we
But
are
it
all a
could be.
big fan. Big should be, I guess, but a big fan of George. Yes, he's a wonderful guy. He was actually sharing about being a veteran and the veteran nonprofits he's involved with, that also the Mat Factory supports with the Bashida Brotherhood and kind of like some of those connections. So it was really good. But I asked him about his thoughts on your upcoming fight, as well as Brittany Bickert. So it was really fun. So what's nice
Cool.
about being able to interview multiple people from Pittsburgh is you guys cross train, you know each other, you support each other, you see each other all around. So it's kind of it's a real community of MMA, which is really really fun. So I guess because we've already kind of covered your upcoming fight being the co-main event, what are your thoughts on Brittany Bickert? We already mentioned George. What are your thoughts on George and anyone else who you may know on the card? Maybe some of the ladies in the undercard. It's kind of what are your thoughts on some of the other people that are going to be sharing the 247 MMA at the Venue 5 event with you?
Yeah. So I just want to touch on for a second what you said about all this cross training and stuff in the Pittsburgh area and how it's kind of just like a big family sort of. we all kind of support each other and stuff. And I think that that is so important as a smaller MMA hub that we are for now. We don't have a super gym like American Top Team. We don't have like the, you know, the facilities and stuff like that, and the training partners that they do. And I think that all of us working together is one of the biggest reasons that the MMA scene has gone where it has, and you know, has grown as much as it has. So I think that that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm pumped to be on the same card as George Hebe, and then Hunter March has been training with us a lot. Some of those React guys have been training with us, so that's been really cool. They've been coming up to our wrestling practices and stuff. So, and I'm pumped to see Brittany back. It's been even longer for her than it has been for me, and I know she's gone through some trials during that time. So it's just going to be good to see her rebound. Her comeback's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see it. Yeah, Brittany and I kind of came up together. We started training at the same time. You know, we're around the same size, so you know, we're always paired up, and I just have really developed a friendship with her and can't wait to see her succeed because she deserves it big time. So, and all the girls on the grappling card on the undercard, those are going to be awesome matches. So I hope that all the people that are coming for the fights come for those too, because I know like Erica's a dog. Maya, she's going to put on a good show. And then some of those other like newer girls that I haven't seen a whole lot of their matches, but I know they're all training at good gyms around the area, and hopefully we can get a girls open mat after this. That would be wonderful. So I'm gonna try to work on that maybe after the fights and get all the girls in the same gym. That'd be fun. Maybe get
That
them on a
would,
Sunday.
there you go. That would be. I was gonna say. I thought when I was interviewing Coach Carly Joe and some of the other ladies in MMA, I thought there was already like a Sunday morning or afternoon, sometime where it's open
Sunday
for.
suffering.
What is it?
It's our Sunday suffering.
Dark Sunday suffering.
Suffering. Sunday suffering is rough, but it's fun. We suffer together, and it's fun. It's fun
Okay.
stuff.
Okay. Well,
One
there you
time,
go.
This girl named Abigail came. She was she trains at 10th Planet Mercury, I think, and she was she goes, well, it was my first time here, and I hated it, but I'll probably be back.
I hated it. I hated it.
I
Yeah.
hated it. I'll
Well,
probably be
that's
back.
great.
I was like,
You
that's a
do.
Sunday.
That's a Sunday. Well, you do bring up a great point. Pittsburgh MMA is very special. That's what Ryan Middleton, the owner of 247, as well as Hunter Homestack, the GM, have talked for years now about the unique aspect of Pittsburgh MMA, both being a fight town, long history of combat sports and things like that, but also the community of training, and then being able to have such a great venue that they now have, like a full-time venue, which is just incredible. You don't have to run all over the place. They now have it consistently in Pittsburgh, and then 247 just constantly raising the bar. Although George Shaibi did say that when he went to the armored MMA, the knights hitting each other, which 247 hosted. It wasn't a 247 event. It was a 247. They were hosting it. That he wants to jump to that sport. So I say we just
I'm in.
give a little tickle in the ear of Isaac Greeley. He needs another sport to coach. So you tell him, hey coach, learn this sport to coach, and then he becomes the greatest coach of armored combat. And then there you go. It's
I would not put it past him.
Oh, I wouldn't put it past him either. And I was going to jokingly say, but I love, of course, Coach Isaac Greeley. I don't know how he has enough time in the day. He's a business owner, a chiropractor, a husband, a father, high school coach, pro coach. He flies all over the place, but I don't get it. He's
I have a
incredible.
theory.
Okay.
I think he's been cloned. I think there's two.
Ooh, I like that theory.
Prove me wrong.
Well,
I don't
I
know.
mean, technically, I am a clone, and
You see?
I am. I'm an identical twin, a monozygotic twin, which means for a couple days, my twin brother, hi Mark, and I were one person, and God knew, split that. That's too much. Let's split it. That's too much. So
Nobody's
maybe,
gonna deal with that one person.
yeah, just split it. So it's possible, but so maybe Coach Isaac is actually an identical twin, and they just share a name, because otherwise I don't understand how he does all this stuff. But he's incredible. The mentorship, obviously, you've known him even better than I have, but every time I hang out with him, he's just an incredible guy. So hats off to you and everybody that you've mentioned, even people we haven't mentioned. It's just so exciting to see you. We're down to under like 9 days, I guess. Yeah, we're at 9 days for 247 Fighting Championships, March 14th Sunny Days Arena at the venue. Get your tickets on 247fighting.com. Get them from Cheyenne Batqueen or Dog Hero. Ooh, Dog Hero. Dog Hero.
Ooh, okay.
It was dog.
Okay.
What was it? Dog what? Dog.
Dog warrior. That's what he
Oh,
said.
the Dog Warrior works. Dog Hero, Dog Warrior. Cash's mom. But anyhow, get
Cash.
your tickets. Get your tickets. If you're going to get pay-per-view, make sure you do not click on any of the links that are online on Facebook because those are all scam links. Get your pay-per-views through 247 Live app. Download the app. Give Cheyenne Bat Queen / Dog Warrior Hall credit. Thanks so much for coming on the show. It's always a blast talking to you. Give Cash a hug from me and a high five to Chris or vice versa, whatever you
Will
want to do
do.
there. Yeah, there you go. Great seeing you. Can't wait to see you March 14th. Co-main event of 247 Fighting Championships. MMA at the venue 5. Batqueen Cheyenne Hall. See ya.